Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Nun The Wizer podcast. We got a full damn house in here today. Golly. We got my dog back in here, El Presidente, my big dog, Big Trip in the building. He ain't been on in a couple weeks. Glad to have you back. Of course, we got the audio extraordinaire here. He's not on camera today, ladies and gentlemen, but he is here. He's holding us down on the ones and two. My big dog, podcast po in the building. Show that man some love. Hit some buttons over there for me, please. We got a whole bunch of y'all in the back. I'm not naming all of y'all. I'm going to obviously shout out the... Not you. I'm fucking with you. I'm going to shout out the First Lady. Shout out my First Lady holding us down on the camera. She's not doing the camera for the video, but for the photography. But we got my boy B in the building. Last but not least, we got two special guests in the building. Shout them out. Give me some hand claps. We got Scoobz in the building. We got my big dog Chilla in the building, holding it down with us today. Thank you for coming and showing us love. Appreciate you showing love. You could have been anywhere. You were here with us.
Thank you for having us.
So we usually try to do, I try to do a little bit of an icebreaker. I usually ask about the weekend, but I'm going to switch it up a little bit. Today I'm going to ask, what is the best advice that you got and how do you implement it into your everyday life? I'll start since I asked the question. One of the things that I do is I have a really bad issue with impulsive spending. I don't know why. It's a thing. But now I've been told, if you're going to impulsive spend, give yourself a 24-hour window to see if you still want that
think
item.
About it.
Yeah, so that shit has been working. I've saved a lot of money for doing that. So that would be my thing that I've definitely implemented.
I fuck around, go to sleep, and wake up like, all right, let's go.
He's like, I really needed it. 24 hours up. So I'll give that to you, Trip. What is your something
you didn't even
that you
warn me that you was gonna do this, so I'm gonna pass.
Yeah, why would I warn you? That's the point. No warning.
So just give it advice.
The only person that gets the warning is me because I'm coming up with the question.
All right, I would say make sure that you have somebody in your circle that can give you wise counsel.
You're welcome.
Oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, nah, facts. I gotta feel y'all. And again, that's how I implement it. I talk to every last one of you guys.
No, that's a fact.
I'm always usually the good angel, but yeah.
It's good angel. She's like maybe in the center at best. She's a little bit here, a little bit there. Definitely not good angel.
She all right.
All right. I'll give that to you.
Oh man, I'm gonna go with don't take anything personal. In life, man, in life, life, man. Sometimes you might react off somebody else's reactions, and they might just had a bad day. You feel me? You overthinking it, son. You made it did wrong, son. It's not really about you. You feel me? It's about them sometimes. So I don't take anything personal with a grain of salt. You feel me? That's how I move.
My shit's real nice and simple. Just never give up. Keep going, dog.
I fuck with it.
Just keep going.
Yeah, I fuck with
that.
Yeah.
That's it.
Y'all already starting off.
Hear that? Don't give up. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here today and we're going to be discussing artist management. Luckily, everybody on this panel to some degree has dabbled in it. I've dabbled. Y'all are more, fresh in that space. So I'll open up the question. What led you to artist management? I don't know who wants to pick up that question, but how did you get there?
I mean, I guess I could start just because obviously we talked about it. So I'm going to just be nice and brief. Meeting up with this guy and his brother.
They're talking about podcast po for those who don't know.
It was just natural coming around them. We lived up and down the street from each other, so I would just come by the crib. He's playing whatever in the basement, and we just started building just naturally. Never even had a formal conversation.
So it's one of those things you just woke up like, damn, I'm an artist manager. I don't know how I got here.
Pretty much, yeah.
But we here now.
I was like, for real.
Nah, it really does happen like that. So for you, Chilla, how did that happen?
I graduated from college at Emmanuel College in Fenway with a degree in management.
Oh, so you went to school for this?
Okay. In a sense, just trying to figure it out, going to school. I feel I can manage, so figure that out. But how I came into this role, artist development and things like that, was I just knew a lot of talented people, and one and two, just me being the person I am, I just know a lot of people. So I just feel like, why fill a void if I know a lot of talented people? Why not connect them to who I need to be connected with? Whether it's a videographer, whether it's a beat, I know people that do all type of stuff. So just being the glue and just filling the void and just being a dot connector. You feel me? Let me hear type shit. So
no, I'm mad at that.
Yeah, pretty much the same thing, but literally, just being on the block, seeing people with talent, and just like, damn, you can go somewhere with this, and just helping them push them. Just that's really what drove me to it. But I've always been part of the internet, you know, just seeing shit grow and stuff.
My story is a little different. I have no idea about artist management as far as like the practice, but I also was managing Vonnie at one point, and he had asked me, and I was like, I don't know the damn thing about it. Give me 2 weeks to kind of learn, you know, not the ins and outs, because you're not going to learn in 2 weeks, but kind of just a foundation of what my job would entail. So once I did, I was like, I think I can manage that, and I kind of went from there. And I mean, I think it worked out for the most part. I learned a lot. I think in the future, that's something that if I wanted to, I will say this, it's not something that I necessarily would want to like explore any further. It's definitely not in my avenue. It's a lot.
It's not for the faint.
It's not for the faint of heart, and I will say that because, and I would say for me, because I dabble on the artistry side too. I get both sides, but it's a very difficult space. What are some of the difficulties that you guys or the main, like the top difficulties that you've experienced within art, like dealing with artists and management in general?
I would say being on the same page and understanding that this thing's bigger than just both of us, you and the artist, you know? You got fans, you got people you got to entertain, you know? So whatever y'all got personally going on, that shit could fuck it all up. And then everybody else that's consuming the music or whatever it is that y'all doing, they won't see it no more. So it's like, damn, fucking it up for the fans.
Anybody else want to pick that up? What do you think is the most difficult? Or your most difficult? Not even the most difficult, but what was your most difficult experience?
I'll pick it up if you want to still think on it. I say sometimes as you know, managers, whatever you want to call us, we want it more than the artists sometimes. At times, you know, and it's not just we want it more than them, but we might have I don't know, the vision or the drive to understand, like, okay, now is not the time to slack. Now is not the time. You know, there's always times when you slack and you got to refuel and you know.
Right.
But it's always at the time, or, you know, so I would say things like that, man. Just wanting more than the artist as far as, you know, you got to discipline yourself, but the artist necessarily might not always discipline themselves, or, you know, and things like that. Y'all keep each other sharp. There's things that, you know, as a manager, I think that I'll fault that, and it takes, you know, a good artist to bring it out of me. So, you know, it's about, you know, find that good balance, man.
I think that oftentimes artists don't understand that although we're trying to help you guys build your career, like we're trying to build our career too.
Fair.
You know, so it's not just you, it's us as well.
Right.
You know, we have a whole nother angle.
No, I agree with that. For me, like I said, I kind of threw myself in the water and was trying to, you know, swim ashore. I struggled from just being confident that I was kind of leading this person in the right direction and not leading them astray. Because again, I'm very green in that area, so I had to learn on the fly while also trying to, you know, put another person in position for their career, while also not even realizing in that space, oh shit, I'm building a career.
He was bold.
You know what I mean? So it was a lot of stuff happening like simultaneously, and I'm like,
I tried to tell you.
You did. You know, well, I appreciate you even, you know, giving me the opportunity to come to you like, hey, this is the opportunity that's been presented to me. How do I approach it? Because you've done it before. So, but even with that, it's like it's one of those things that you can't necessarily prepare for because you're doing it in real time, and it's like your experience, my experience, no matter if the artist is the same.
I mean, I think that's how I learned too.
Yeah.
It's kind of like on the fly.
So it's, you know, it's definitely one of those situations where it's like, I got more confident as I did it, but you're leading someone to their career path. So it's like, oh shit, like
it's a mental game.
Yeah, for real.
It's a mental game.
So all right, for me, I'm also a videographer, and it was a little bit of a cheat code for me because I was able to kind of like present a little bit more, like when it comes to like
add more,
having like finances and all that stuff. How difficult is that? And who's that upon? Is that on the artist or is that on the manager?
I'll say a little the artist, but you know, if the manager want to help in, he could do it.
Exactly.
But it's really the artist's dream. So it's like, you got your money for your studio session. I could show you a studio spot that do a deal for it, or some shit, you know.
Got the connections, got the resources.
And if you don't have no bread, it's like, all right, you know, niggas will chip in. That's what I could see.
I do think there's a common misconception though that as an artist manager, we're supposed to be everything.
Yeah.
ATM, all of that.
Hey, Dad.
It's not a requirement, and that's something I want to make clear. That is not a requirement. Now, if we decide that we want to help, like you just said, then I'll be. If you're gonna do that, I think there should be a contract in place to protect both parties. But yeah, it's not a requirement.
Yeah, there's a difference between a manager and an investor, and I feel like people may get that misconstrued a lot. The manager has no obligation at all, really, to put money up at all. To be real, it's just a matter of manager manages the talent. You feel me? To be real, I know in my aspect, and a lot of people I know, the manager overly look out and overly, may put money into things, and it not to say it may spoil the artist, but it may confuse the artist to think that's how it's supposed to go.
Yeah, it's like expectation.
Yeah, but it's like if you a lot of people are close to being around, I guess, what they're around, maybe Boston or whatever, local. But when you go out and see what's going on and you understand, like, hold on, it's not really like that. Right. Like, you got to bring, a little more to the table type things.
So something I learned on my journey is, like, there's multiple artist managers within artist management.
Hella roles.
So how many roles do you guys play as artist managers? Are you the travel manager? Are you all of these things, or are you just the manager? And there's a lot of different.
In the startup, that's what you is. But
everything.
When everything starts to get big, you start building your whole empire. Of course, you're gonna have a road manager, this manager, that manager,
day to day.
Somebody that goes shopping manager type stuff. But right now it's just dolo. You don't really need that much people because you're gonna break the bread. Like, say you go on that show, it's $250. How many managers you gonna pay?
Right. No, that's true. For you, I'm assuming you probably do all of the management.
Nah.
So you
I can't say that. There's been times when I've taken on a lot of the burden. There's been times when I looked on to my team for help. Like, artists, people that don't rap, like my man, you can't see he's off camera, my man, Uncle Yinny, does a great job of helping me. He don't want to call himself a manager. I'll call him that. You feel me? There's been times that I ain't been around, or maybe I had another obligation to dealing with different artists, and they got things on the same day, and bro, he's there. You feel me? I'm trying to say? So it takes that,
How does the artist feel about that? Because there's a lot of things that happen in the background. Are we always filling in the artist, or is these things that the artist kind of finds out on the fly, like, hey, someone else is kind of taking charge of this thing?
You gotta tell them. Communication is key.
Yeah.
Bullshit. Or it's like,
facts.
What's understood, you gotta be
Shit goes left real quick if you don't.
Yeah.
Sometimes people don't mix personalities and stuff. But I do want to say that's something I always liked about you guys. Y'all always had a solid team.
Yeah.
Everybody showing up and doing what they gotta do.
Yeah, you gotta delegate them roles.